Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. I have the lighting, I have the fan. I'm still a little warm from that really juicy Yuletide ritual I did in the previous video, so sleeveless shirt, a bit of scarf because I'm feeling very priestessy. But right now the time is approximately 12:26 p.m., 12:26 a.m. Eastern Time, and the date, depending upon who you ask, is either Tuesday, December 22nd or Wednesday, December 23rd, 2020. Since it is after midnight but before sunrise, I'm going to say it is still Tuesday, December 22nd, 2020. And given the energies that were conjured up and raised, I felt it would be an ideal time to cast the cards. And I had this idea come to me a few weeks ago, actually, to cast the cards, mainly because I received so much wonderful, beautiful feedback, especially off YouTube, regarding how much my reading of the year 2020 resonated with them. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do that for 2021, not now, not right this second, but I am going to do a wrap-up of year 2020 casting of the reading, which is this. And I felt it was appropriate to use one of my personal favorite tarot decks, the Robin Wood Tarot, created and, well, written and illustrated by Robin Wood. And before we do that, let me show you my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Yule tree. I am so happy with my Yule tree. It also makes me happy that there are 3 stars at the top. And I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up. We have the citrine star, which has these citrine-colored crystals, and it's on both sides, not just the front. And it has the spiral thing that hooks onto the top of the top branch. Then this rainbow-rific, multi-dimensional, 3-dimensional floating star, and then the star that has the different changing lights. I happen to love the fact that I have a Yule tree with 3 stars on it. So I'm really, really happy with it, and I love it very much. So, and it just makes me very happy. And of course, being the tarot man, I have images from the Universal Goddess Tarot, written by Maria Carati and illustrated by Antonella Platano. Definitely facing out is the High Priestess, depicting the ancient Egyptian goddess Osset, the goddess more commonly known as Isis. And on the side you can see the moon card, which appropriately depicts Selene, the Greek goddess of the full moon. I don't know if you can see it from this angle. I know I can see the full moon at the top from leaning forward, but she's there. She's absolutely there. One of these days I'll make color copies of all of them, and well, actually all the major arcana at the very least. Anyway, so I've already shuffled the deck, and I'm using this beautiful, it's funny because both of these items are from Etsy shops. This from Wild Child Creations, which is, I forgot what the owner of Wild Child Creations calls it, but it's basically a tarot spread on the go thing. So you can like cast a 3-card spread or a 4-card spread, and you still have the rest of the cards in the thing. But this layout cloth, I really got just moved and enchanted by it, and I will link, well actually Ona doesn't use her Etsy shop anymore, she uses her own website, but I will link the name of this particular Etsy shop in the description box. So, since 2020 numerologically reduces to 4, I'm going to do a 4-card spread. First card, what we learned from 2020, and that is 6 of Pentacles. We learned the importance of our physical health, we learned the importance of our financial health, and we learned what we needed to do and stop doing. So what we needed to begin or resume or continue doing, as well as what we needed to stop doing so that we could be physically healthier and financially healthier. And it is interesting to note that 2021 is a Hierophant year. And 2021, or rather the Hierophant card, is astrologically aligned with Taurus, which is an earth sign. And I don't remember offhand, but I have a feeling that the astrological placement for Six of Pentacles is a planet in the sign of Taurus. Part of me wants to say Venus, part of me wants to say Jupiter, I don't remember offhand. Now that I'm preparing to use the Aleister Crowley Thoth Tarot deck again, I'll look it up and I'll include that in the description box as well. Okay, so what we need to leave behind in 2020 and really leave behind in 2020. Eight of Wands. Obstacles, barriers, the obstacles that life has presented us, the obstacles that we have created for ourselves. These are the things that we must leave behind in 2020. And I love that in the Robin Wood Tarot, the planet Jupiter is in the background. So I really feel that the obstacles and barriers that we are still dealing with, we're not going to be dealing with after March 20th or 21st of 2021. Because for me, even though the calendar year begins with January 1st, I tend to look at things more astrologically, as in Western astrology. So the year does not, the new astrological year does not begin until the date of the vernal equinox, which in some magical traditions is called Ostara, and which is the first day of the sun's transit in the sign of Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, and not surprisingly, the sign of new beginnings. What we can bring from 2020 into 2021 and beyond. King of Wands, spiritual power, spiritual authority, spiritual greatness, spiritual radiance. This is what we cultivated, strengthened, created, magnified in 2020. And we are now being divinely guided through Isis Fortuna, goddess of the sacred tarot, to bring from 2020 into 2021 and beyond. And what is the most important thing we can do, think, see, have, or cultivate in 2020 so that we can make 2021 and beyond more beautiful, more powerful, more empowering, more uplifting, more prospering, more healing? Seven of Pentacles. It is so amazing that this card came out because it definitely is about reaping the harvests. It is about reaping a financial harvest, reaping a harvest of financial prosperity, but also of great and powerful healing, and specifically physical healing. So there's a lot of things that a lot of people came to terms with and confronted and dealt with, whether they wanted to deal with it or not in 2020, regarding their own physical health and well-being, or in this case, your own physical health and well-being. And it is interesting to note that one of the esoteric interpretations of the Seven of Pentacles is rebuilding the spiritual temple. So if you have been lax in your spiritual studies, in your magical practice, in your spiritual practices in 2020, it is imperative that you resurrect them, that you renew them, that you re-examine, that you redo them, as in do them again and again and again, ongoingly, going forth into 2021 and beyond. And the final message card is the Nine of Pentacles. It is no coincidence that Taurus, as in the astrological alignment of the Hierophant card, is the sign of money and possessions. And from a Chaldean Hebrew Kabbalah system of numerology perspective, Taurus, as well as Libra and the planet Venus, represent love, money, creativity, and magnetizing all good things. I almost never pay attention to other people, especially people on YouTube, who do readings for every sign of the zodiac, or readings for the new year, or things along, or readings for the week. I almost never do that. There's actually only one person, and I don't even know if she has a YouTube channel, but she has a wonderful WordPress blog, and I have the honor and pleasure of not only following her WordPress blog, but I have the honor and pleasure of having her as one of my followers of my professional, metaphysically oriented WordPress blog, This Is Who I Am, which is the one that begins with the Tarot Man. And that WordPress blog is Beneath the Triune Moon. And she used to do daily tarot or oracle card readings. Then she switched it to weekly. And but interestingly enough, I have been paying attention to a lot of the predictions. YouTube, there is nothing wrong with your internet connection. There is nothing wrong with your YouTube website, especially if you are a premium user like yours truly. I am just trying to stifle the urge to wring the neck of my amazingly awesome audio-visual person for my YouTube videos, also known as Drake, because now he has made the same mistake 2 videos in a row. And I'm trying not to wring his neck, and I'm trying not to throw something, and I needed to take a very, very long pause. Otherwise, this would have been another kind of video that some people see on YouTube, and I used to be one of them. You know, like the smack that was heard around the world type of video. World star! That kind of video. So now I need to interrupt myself again and tell Drake, also known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, to stop doing that. So please stop doing that. Because I cannot go back and do this organically if I start from the very beginning. And you know, look at me, Drake, and you know that there is a part of me that wants to start from the very beginning. But if I do that, it's not going to be as organic, and I'm going to need to use a different deck, and I'm going to need to use a different reading. So could you please, please, I beg of you, be mindful about those big-ass feet of yours. Okay? Are you sure you're going to be able to do this? Are you really sure? I don't believe you, and I wish I could take you at your word for it, but I need to continue the video, which you know is definitely longer than half an hour at this point. As I was saying, Positive Tarot Wisdom and Tuned In Tarot. Lately, a lot of their predictions for 2020 have included greater prosperity, greater financial prosperity in 2021. This is confirmation of that. This is absolute confirmation of that. The Nine of Pentacles is this beautiful card that is symbolic and representative of wealth and opulence, of greater financial abundance and greater abundant prosperity. And it is not a coincidence that today, I received 2 books, and they're both on prosperity consciousness and consciousness of magnetizing all good things. One is The Miracle of Mind Dynamics by the late and great Joseph Murphy. And I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of this book. I am looking forward to reading this book. I'd never even heard of this book until I saw it on eBay a few days ago, or last week, whenever it was, and I am so excited about this. And this was with this book, TNT, The Power Within You, by Claude M. Bristol, author of The Magick of Believing, and Howard Sherman. I never even heard of these 2 men, never heard of this book, And I am looking forward to reading this book. I am very excited about this book. It's in pretty good condition. Both of them are. In fact, this is, I mean, these were published. This was originally published in 1954. But according to Goodreads, it lists the copyright date for both of them as 1972. And this was originally published in 1964, 10 years later. So believe me, I cannot wait to read them. I am looking forward to reading them very, very much. So YouTube land, thank you as always for honoring who I am and what I do. I look forward to your comments about how much this reading resonated with you. And for those of you who are new to my YouTube channel, I kind of like dove right into the reading. So when I cast cards on my YouTube channel, I primarily do it for myself. However, I am well aware of the fact that even though I'm casting the cards for myself, there is always the possibility and almost always the probability that there is somebody watching this video in YouTube land, like you, for whom this reading is so on the mark, they're like, oh my God, So I don't assume that this is just for me. That's my primary mindset, that it is me, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, casting the cards for me, for just me. But it never happens that way. And based on the comments that I've received, every time I've cast the cards in my YouTube videos, I know that it's not just for me. Oh, and I almost forgot. Earlier I was going to say that I remember when Simon of the Hermit's Cave talked about his soul decks. And I will admit, when I watched his video about a soul deck, and what are you doing, Isis? Oh, you're looking plastic. It's a thing with her. Okay. I always get a kick out of this, seriously. So cute, so cute, cute, cute. The Robin Wood Tarot by Robin Wood is a decidedly pagan tarot deck. It is not very inclusive with regards to different races, different genders, well, different sexuality, sexual orientations, and yet it remains one of my personal favorite tarot decks, and it is one of the few tarot decks that is like almost always a go-to tarot deck for me. But it is a beautiful, beautiful tarot deck, and it is one of my personal favorites. And I think that if I ever had a soul deck, this would be a contender for that title. Anyway, so YouTube, thank you for honoring who I am and what I do. Thank you so much for all the likes, for all the comments, for all the shares, for all the subscriptions to my YouTube channel, and of course thank you to all of you who have been scheduling your sessions. I have a new box of traditional medicinals throat coat, which is helping me because I've had a scratchy throat for the last few days, probably in part because of all the readings that I did last week by phone and by video. So and this month I actually did a lot of readings, phone, video, and in person. So yeah, so no wonder I'm sleeping all the time. Yes, because a lot of it, I am the vessel. I am the venerated vessel. So yes, and Isis is agreeing with me in her own way while she's looking more plastic. So I thank you for honoring me. I wish all of you and yours many peaceful and prosperous blessings, and stay tuned for the next video.